There we go, the engines. And the whining, the usual cha-chung, 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 but they do. Yeah. Next should be GLS Go for Purge Sequence 4. It's one of their purge sequences for their engines. Very long to explain. We have only 3 minutes.
GLS Go for Purge Sequence 4.
There we go.
There it was.
Boy.
Like clockwork.
Yeah.
We're starting to bring
Next
up those
to-
pad mics so y'all can hear the sounds of the pad here too.
Yep, next two big items will be the upper stage. The ICPS will enter internal power at T-minus 2 minutes 20 seconds, and then 20 seconds later at T-minus 2 minutes, the SRBs, those solar rocket boosters on the side of the vehicle, will also switch to internal power. And then the core stage will follow at T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds.
At 2.5 minutes, here it comes.
Yeah.
I believe it's at 2 minutes and 2 seconds at the ICPS, which is to internal battery power, so that's the next
The
before that
engine-
we're expecting.
The engines are moving.
They were gimbling,
They're
yeah.
doing like a TVC check.
They're dancing.
You can just see the shadow change a little bit down there.
GLS Go for upper stage to internal power.
Oh my goodness. How are you
That's like
guys
2
doing
Under
minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah.
I can't imagine what everybody there on the ground is feeling right now, because this is exciting just to watch on the screens.
GLS Go for core stage to internal power.
Here we go then, everybody.
1 minute.
60 seconds away.
Hola, hola, bienvenido. Y el Tiago.
T-minus 50.
Estamos en el último minuto, ya casi escuchan el ruido de los motores. La vuelta.
T-minus 40 seconds.
Estoy liberando esa presión. Esa tripulación. Está el
Sí,
sistema
let's
en
go
verde.
for yellow.
The vehicle is now in control of the countdown.
¿Qué es eso, brother? En este momento estamos grabando acá o reaccionando a la transmisión en vivo de la NASA. Van a lanzar
Expecting
unos
hydrogen burn-offs
loquitos
to
para el
ignite
espacio.
momentarily. Here we go.
GLS Go for core stage engine.
There go the rofies. Here comes the deluge. Ignition of the RS-25s. Ignition of the boosters and liftoff.
Y se
Artemis
fue
II is
esto.
off and away. Let's go to the moon.
Houston, integrity, good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch. Integrity, AMT high.
Me la vuelta como se ve eso, parce. Qué locura.
If you can hear me over the rumble, we're 60 seconds into flight of Artemis II. Humanity's return to the moon for the first time since 1972. We are under the thrust of 39,000 kilonewtons out of the twin SRBs and 4 RS-25s. We're through max Q 10 seconds ago. Continuing to pitch down range. Beautiful ascent from the Space Launch System. Next up, we will have SRB separation, 2 minutes and 8 seconds into flight. Approximately 30 seconds away, those twin SRBs will use up all their propellants and fall away from the SLS stack.
Approaching max Q. On, pumps fully on.
Stan, we got you loud and clear on possibility on.
Have you the same?
20 seconds away from SRB burnout and jettison. Gorgeous ascent down range from the tracking cameras. 2 minutes into flight right now.
More than 2,600 miles per hour.
And we've got burnout. And that looks like SRB jet. The boosters are separated. The core stage is flying on its own. Once producing 80% of the thruster liftoff, those boosters are spent.
85% ahead of solid rocket booster separation. Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready. We see throttle down.
Copy off, Stan.
Was that an onboard view?
That
was
was an
for a
onboard
second.
view.
I saw one of the strakes on the core stage.
Main engine throttling up, guidance converge.
Next up, we will have the launch abort system jettison at T plus 3 minutes and 18 seconds into flight. That's just over 20 seconds away from now. The launch tower will jettison and make way for the rest of the flight.
Yep, right before that, the service module panels will jettison. It's a 3-piece panel that protects the service module on Orion, and they will separate before that jettison. Oh my goodness, look at that.
There they
Look
go.
at that.
There's
Look at that.
the panel separation.
Thrusters on integrity and upper stage confirmed in a ready state ahead of the service module.
And there goes the launch abort
There it
motor.
goes.
Oh my goodness. Now the crew has a clear view out of the windows of Earth as they propel themselves all the way to orbit. Oh my goodness.
And we could hear Reed Wiseman, commander there, confirming good separation.
8 plus 02.
As the crowds watch on from Florida, the next step in flight is going to
And
be
Houston
the
has
course
you loud and
and
clear
engine
on T
cutoff.
at the common line.
Standing by for launch
Past the
forces.
Carmen
There's the
line
Carmen
now.
line.
Outstanding, Stan. We have you the same.
Once again, for 3 of them, one of them for the first time, Jeremy Henson now in space. I would say there's probably another call out about 5 minutes into flight. That's when one of the abort modes will be 3-engine press. We're probably going to hear some of that. There's been some of those call outs as well during ascent. Those are normal, basically informing the crew from here on. This will be, if something were to go wrong, right? That will be the option to abort. But again, everything continues to go well. Amazing, gorgeous launch views of SLS during daylight, and it continues to go.
This is spectacular.
This beautiful clean plume here, like this is where, for all of its leaky problems, the
Oh, the
hydrogen
onboard.
shines. It's making water behind it.
Integrity,
Right?
GPS processing.
All right.
And can we
Outstanding,
just
Stan.
acknowledge-
We see the same, and we have a beautiful moonrise. We're headed right at it.
Yeah, that's true.
I was about to say, can we just acknowledge they were basically on time? We were, what, 11 minutes after the launch window opened?
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
pretty impressive.
That's on time.
And on the first launch window that they have actually attempted, right? Because they've done wet dress rehearsals and things like that. But now they are actually,
Integrity, 3 engine press.
And we have a beautiful
That's the abort
moonrise.
call out?
We're headed right at it.
if for whatever
3 engine
reason
press.
they lost one of the engines, they will be able to continue the mission.
The flight, Commander Reed Wiseman confirms.
That's why they said 3-engine press there. Like they could press
Exactly.
to orbit with 3 engines. They don't need that 4th engine because there's
I
enough.
believe it's
thrust.
all the way actually to the moon. Like the complete mission will still be able to be done.
Integrity, 3
Once you
My
get to
God.
orbit, you're
Far
halfway to
away.
anywhere. So
But yeah, boy. One of the other
It's
things, I don't know
still-
if it's still visible.
you can still see it. It's still going down range on these long-range cameras.
I don't know if
Go
they
ahead, Alex.
may call this out.
Integrity, looking good at 6 minutes.
Integrity, 75
There we
miles
go.
in altitude, 330
Yeah, we are
miles
two-
in range, approaching 10,000 miles per hour.
It's from core
Stay on
stage
course,
Miko.
Stan.
Yep. Before that, the core stage engines should throttle down to limit G's, because even though it didn't produce a lot of thrust on the ground, now the core stage is basically drained a lot of that propellant. It's already used a lot of that propellant, so now the acceleration is going up. So we're gonna
Integrity.
limit those G's.
Expect nominal shutdown.
Engine performance.
There we
Booster
go.
Officer will soon report the shutdown
Take
plan.
it down,
Flight
nominal
Yeah.
control
shutdown.
freeling expected at the 7-minute mark.
Oh, from the launch control room.
That's from
Finally.
LCC.
Wow.
Be Charlie in the bottom, probably.
30, 70
It looks
Yeah,
like it.
that
Yeah.
looks like
In that
Charlie.
position, yeah.
460 miles downrange.
She's got to be excited. I mean, they've all got to be. Can you imagine having
Oh,
worked
yeah.
on this for as long as they have? What an achievement this is just to get this far.
There's the plume.
From Port
That's-
Canaveral.
I was going to say that's from the port down the road.
Those SRBs, they leave that sort of pillar of smoke, and then once they separate and you have this is the orange part of the rocket right now. What's burning is that central stage with the hydrogen and oxygen. And the hydrogen and oxygen leaves a really clean plume behind it, whereas those SRBs leave a pillar of smoke that you ride into space.
Another point here, mode 4 abort once around, maybe? They're not calling it.
Integrity. AOA open.
There we go. Okay, so now they could be able to
There we
abort
go.
once around, basically all the way around the Earth and come back to the Pacific Ocean on the West Coast if this were to again, but it's continuing. It's going. It's still 20 seconds to Miko. Main engine cut off.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, almost 10 seconds now.
10 seconds, yeah.
Almost 10
It took him
now,
10
yeah,
seconds,
it's like-
10 seconds to say that. It's an Alex answer.
I'm also very nervous, so I cannot word right now.
Here we
Ay,
go.
mira,
Blame you.
ya se desacopló esa vuelta.
The chat behind the
Audio.
scenes, I was going to say there's some great images
Oh.
coming in. We can't wait to share with you all.
No exhaust. Now.
Looks like Miko to me.
Yeah. I don't know if we got that diff there, like.
Whoa! Stage separation.
Stage separation from the core
Integrity.
stage.
Nominal Miko core stage separated.
NASA's animation a little bit behind schedule here, but
Forward, Stan.
here it goes. It's catching up.
Oh my god.
And that was
Integrity. Expect nominal shutdown.
So go back to the live view, like.
and that was
So they're not, unlike a Falcon 9 launch, which you might be
Yeah,
used to.
Integrity Houston looking ahead to PRM numbers so far per the pad.
Sure if there'll be a
Yeah,
callback.
numbers for the pad.
There we go. But unlike a Falcon 9 you might be used to, they don't need to light the upper stage right away. So they're actually going to be coasting with the upper stage for a little while now, and the perigee raise maneuver will be 49 minutes into flight. So this is absolutely nominal. We are not expecting the upper stage engine to be ignited right now.
oh boy. Okay.
I'm being wowed at the moment. I don't know if you guys are looking at the chat, but I've seen a few photographs that have come in from our team on the ground. Jerry shared a couple of launch that are just absolutely mind-blowing. I can't wait for all the audience to be able to see those and purchase those as a memento of this historic day.
Now it's very important to stress here that the mission is nowhere near done. We're just 10
Oh, yeah.
minutes into a 10-day mission, okay?
Integrity. Good. Neds deploy.
Absolutely. We're expecting the
Was
ICPS
that-
to do more work in about 49 minutes after launch.
Yeah, good, Ned.
Yeah, okay, so that call out was the nozzle deployment on the RL-10 engine. So the upper stage has an RL-10 engine and its
Yep.
nozzle extends
And
after
Integrity
separation.
Houston for PWD set. Just a reminder, halfway open on the secondary.
And so yeah, they were just informing the crew
We
that
got
it got
kind of halfway open.
extended.
I'm surprised by the realistic lighting choice here on the rendering. Like,
Yeah, right?
it's a little tough to see, honestly. I guess the lights on the other side. Oh,
They can light this however they like, but they decide to light it realistically when it goes into the evening, which we can't see from the onboard cameras, which the animation is meant to replace. Okay.
Can you all see? Does it even? Is it showing the nozzle extension on the animation?
Can't really tell. It's very dark.
I can't tell. It's very dark.
I
Yeah,
think so. I can see a light grey line, and it looks further like the nozzle has been extended in the animation.
They should have done this with IR or something so we could see what's happening with the animation. You know something? I'm okay with it because there are 4 human beings in a spacecraft that is set up, that is capable of taking them around the moon. So I guess we'll let the animation slide.
I still can't believe that this thing launched on the first launch attempt.
Within like 10, 11 minutes of the beginning of the window? That's a
Yeah,
little
right?
nuts. It's like the universe
Especially compare
aligning.
after Artemis 1. Do you remember how many attempts we went through with that?
I try to forget.
I'm sure Jared will be super happy because he's been talking about, keeping competencies. I haven't even remember the whole, spiel.
Can I just say, in his interview with us, Jared Isaacman said he was going to be accelerating the schedule, that we should expect to see the next core stage in the next 3.5 weeks. By accelerating the schedule, he has turned God knows how many launch attempts for Artemis 1 into 10 minutes into the first attempt.
Copy C3 aux, and we're 2 minutes to maneuver.
Folks, there's all sorts of shots. All of our photographers, videographers that are out there at the Cape are currently taking the shots off their cards, the SD cards, and sending them to us. So, in a little bit here, we'll have an awful lot of... Can I say freaking fantastic? I can say that. Right?
You can.
It could say that.
All right, we're going to have a lot of freaking fantastic shots to show y'all in just a few minutes. Still listening in to the capsule, but the capsule's coasting right now, isn't it?
Beautiful, beautiful. One thing I would also say, I will be honest, I didn't really understand the daylight launch hype before the launch. Now I've seen the photos, I apologise, and I 100% understand the daylight launch hype. The evening lighting, the, cloudy but pretty blue skies in Florida, absolutely spectacular.
Especially with the SRBs. I mean, the pillar of smoke that goes behind the SRBs, you know that thing launched. Like, if you didn't, you've probably heard. I bet you everybody heard it.
I bet they
But
felt
you look,
it.
yeah, and it just, it lingers. They sort of drift, and you can see the winds blowing them, but the SRBs don't play around.
I
Am I
see Sawyer's
the only
getting back
one?
on comms. I was going to say, you should ask him how did he feel it? Sawyer, are you back on comms yet?
Probably pushed him backwards
I'm
a little
something.
bit.
I'm here or something.
Okay, you got to share with us. How did it feel on the ground?
That was unreal. The volume, it just keeps getting louder and louder. Like, you think it's going to stop, but it doesn't. And then you get the reverberation off of all of the buildings, all of the huts, all of the cars, everything in the area. So as soon as it hits you from the front, it bounces off the buildings and hits you from behind. So you are getting bombarded in all directions with sound. This is one that you see, that you hear, and that you feel. This is one of those punchy ones where you feel the vibration. And it's unlike Shuttle, where it goes for maybe 10 or 15 seconds of the punchy stuff. We're talking like 25, 30 seconds of the real punch. And then, of course, the sound keeps going. And I had to stop at one point and just look. And just look up. There's this tiny little dot that was going by, and I was talking with somebody next to me, and it's like, there are people in that. That little dot, as just watching it go by, had people going to the moon. I may or may not have had to wipe tears from my eyes. That was... I'll never forget that the rest of my life. I can tell you that.
Oh,
I don't think you were alone, Sawyer. Yeah.
No, I think we were all teary, and we weren't even the ones there feeling it. I remember the first time seeing my first orbital human launch. Oh my gosh, the feeling, that moment when you realise there's humans on that spaceship, it's overwhelming. So the fact that we're sending humans back to the moon for the first time since 1972, wow. What an incredible thing we've just been privileged enough to
Sawyer,
witness.
I'm going to ask you a thing that you probably are very familiar.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear the VOV squeal?
You couldn't hear anything if you wanted to hear anything. It may have squealed, it is so unbelievably loud that there is no chance in heck that I specifically made me squeal. All you heard was
Yeah, I don't know if it, you know, I'm asking you because I don't know if it's like on our audio. I was also trying to listen to the SLS. If I have to do a bit of a mix here by audio, you know, when this launched and I started hearing the rumble, you know, the
pretty shortly after the cheers, you hear the low rumble. Okay, it's coming. But then as soon as that rumble picks up, it gets so unbelievably loud. And this is the same that I had at Artemis 1. It's the same thing here. You go, oh, it got to the level of shuttle. I don't know how it can get any louder, and it does. Somehow it does.
Oh, just over 18 minutes since Artemis II SLS has pushed 4 human beings out into space. The beginning of their journey, not the end of their journey, the beginning of their journey, because they still have a very long road to go all the way around the moon. Now, what was it in?
And read no action, we're looking at it.
Yeah, now they are maneuvering for the attitude for solar array deployment. Because they need to point those solar arrays once they deploy and point them to the sun, obviously, to recharge batteries and keep Orion powered.
I think here we're waiting for it to come out from behind the shadow of the Earth so we can see something in the rendering.
Yeah.
I'm still wowed by all these images behind screens. I cannot wait to be able to share them with the audience right now because they are.
We copy Houston, thank you.
The team on the ground have done an amazing job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Philip actually, Philip corrected me that they are right now in the dark. That's true.
Yep.
They are orienting right now the stack. They're using the RCS thrusters on the ICPS and the upper stage. They're still both connected, and there's still 2 more burns from that upper stage to perform. Yeah. There's the very useful timeline from our users.
So, Alex, I mean, they were launching towards the east and over on this side of the Atlantic.
Houston, integrity anywhere until that momentary crosswalk.
Hand over for your pad.
Tedra's handover, that means they're going to...
And read no action, we're looking at it.
No, they're choosing satellites, I think.
Probably.
You can read it like it's ready to go.
Roger. Tedra's handover east to west expected 1 second earlier at 5:1 minutes 26 seconds.
Alright, Sam, we copy 1 second earlier for 5126 Tedra's east to west, and saws are starting to deploy. Thermal knives are firing.
We concur. Thanks for the report.
Is that a little glow in the animation there?
I think NASA's animation has got a little bit confused here because it thinks they're in the perigee rays burn, which is not scheduled until T plus 49 minutes into flight. We should have just got the Orion solar array deploy. I wonder if somebody has accidentally advanced the animation 2 stops forward when it should have just been 1 stop. NASA TV, you might want to pump that one back just a little bit.
Have a look. Like, turn the engine back off. And Again, that's just the animation there. The call-outs that are coming down from the vehicle are the important things.
Yep, and that call out was very important because you know what I told to Alice that there's multiple TDRS assignments, right?
Your Integrity Houston, update on TDRS handover for your pad.
And there are multiple of these, and they are right now orbiting around the Earth.
Give us
so
just
they're
1 minute.
And there's going to be a point where they're not going no longer.
Understand you can read it like this, ready to copy.
Roger, TDRS handover east to west.
Ready to copy.
Roger, TDRS handover east to west, expected 1 second earlier at 5:1 minutes, 26 seconds.
He's at 49 minutes, 50 seconds at least for the latest.
And Terry, for prop messages, we see 2 temperature measurements right
5126 TDRS east to west, and saws are starting to deploy. Thermal knives are firing.
Heater 2. We concur. Thanks for the report. T1. They're going suppressed.
All right.
Integrity, thank you. Proceed to same.
And then handover could happen during that next burn, the perigee race maneuver burn. So it's very important for them to know that sort of stuff, you know?
Yeah. We keep listening in here as they get more call-outs. It sounded like there were 2 readings that were near the line, but they said they're just going to suppress those. It basically means like hitting snooze on your alarm. Something was sort of near an alarm, and if they suppress it, they're not too terribly concerned about it right now. We'll see if we get more call-outs on that. But again, the thousands of sensors that are watching all of the different things. You heard a discussion there of a temporary prop alarm, the propellant it sounded like, but it was just temporary. And then we heard the discussion about the 2 readings that were near the line and the decision to suppress those, which is basically just turn off the alarm. Still continue watching them, but
And Terry, for prop messages, we see 2 temperature measurements right near the line. We see 2 temperature measurements right near the line. It's a momentary message you saw earlier. We're going to suppress those. It's CM helium heater 2 T1 and heater 1 T1. They're going suppressed.
They are being shared right now, and they are incredible.
Integrity, thank you. Proceed to same.
And purchase the images from the team as well.
Sanitary Houston, we see 4 saws deployed and latched, ready for ATO preferred.
There we go.
those are the solar panels.
Yeah, again, NASA acronyms,
Question
right?
mark.
They call them SAWs.
Sanitary
Solar
Houston,
radiant.
we are seeing a 7-second miscompare between the MET on Orion and ICPS. We'd like you to read us the MET from your center status bar and for the ICPS on StackSum.
The reason why
Interesting.
I chuckled at that, it's because it reminded me of the Starliner OFT1 issue,
Alignment, MET
where
45, 14, 15, 16, precisely aligned with ICPS MET.
Copy, thank you for that. We'll investigate a ground issue.
Houston integrity, ATO preferred set.
Copy, ATO preferred.
That ATO, Alex?
Yeah.
Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah. Sorry, sometimes I don't know which one is talking right now. Because I have two different feeds
Houston
that I'm
integrity,
listening
we are
to,
happy to
and
report that
there's
Jeremy
something
has the O2 sensors on.
It's not.
Copy, OT
Yeah,
sensors.
what I was trying to say is that I chuckle a little. It's only 7 seconds, so I'm sure they can troubleshoot that. It's plenty of time. But you know,
It's not like
Starliner's
18 hours or anything.
exactly. Starliner's orbital flight test 1 back in December 2019. They had like an 11-hour delay between what the rocket mission elapsed time was and the Starliner mission elapsed time.
Sanitary Houston, we see 4 saws deployed and latched, ready for ATO preferred.
I don't think it's a big issue, to be fair, but it reminded me of that.
Planetary Houston, we are seeing a 7-second. Planetary Houston, we are seeing a 7-second miscompare between the MET on Orion and ICPS, or center status bar, and for the ICPS on StackSum.
And Stan, we see a absolutely precise alignment. MET 25, 14, 15, 16, precisely aligned with ICPS MET.
Copy, thank you for that. We'll investigate a ground issue.
The Artemis website, right?
And Houston Integrity, ATO
live
preferred set.
animation you can see
Copy, ATO preferred.
burst into daylight when it comes out from behind the planet.
Wonder if they didn't, like the code behind the animation didn't consider for going back to a previous event, because they did reset back to solar array wings open, which triggered the solar array animation, but the engine is still burning in the animation, and it definitely isn't burning right now in real life.
I don't think it's supposed to be doing. That's just that's an animation problem. That's not the engine's actually burning.
NASA, if you want any help, I think Ryan is just now volunteering to help you.
I'll do you a thing in KSP, it'll look great.
Yes, just throttle down the engine so it stops. That is the spacecraft as it will go all the way around the moon, isn't it?
Well, not the entire spacecraft. The ICPS will return to Earth. It will be the Orion service module, the European service module, I should say, being European. That is what will conduct the translunar ejection burn, and then that spacecraft will go around the moon. But this spacecraft, at least, is going to be in a highly elliptical Earth orbit, which is, still going to be pretty spectacular. And when they separate, we're going to have those proximity operations. The crew is essentially going to pretend the other stage of the lander and pretend to dock to it, essentially, and operate around it, testing Orion's controls. And that will be Reed Wiseman and Victor Glover are going to swap seats, and it'll be Victor Glover, I believe, at the controls of Orion.
Integrity for GNC, we're taking channel 1 to unfiltered and to BFS.
Okay, Stan, we're watching. Go ahead.
I was listening to another update as well. Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of KSPs, we're talking about the animation. Provided that those numbers on the lower right are correct, right? One of the things that people might be wondering, if you're very new, this mission is historic, right? So you might not know what's going on. Why is it that, for example, the speed, the velocity is going down, while the distance from Earth is going up and things like that? That's just oral mechanics, right? Same deal that when you throw up something into the air, you throw a ball or something like that, whatever kind of favorite sport that you like that uses balls, baseball or something, I don't know. Whatever you might use,
Ball
right?
board.
When it is right there at the top of its arch, it usually does sort of arch trajectory, right? Right at the top of that arch, it's basically at the minimum sort of that speed, and then it comes back down and it picks up speed. The same deal happens with Orion and ICPS, this spacecraft, right? It doesn't change just because it went out in a rocket. Gravity works the same, right? So the further out that you go, the slower you go. And so it's losing speed, it's trading that for altitude, and so it's going to go up. The orbit, as Ryan was saying, it goes up to 2200
Integrity for GNC, we're taking channel 1 to unfiltered and to BFS.
Should be, let me look, because I
Okay, Stan, we're watching. Go ahead.
10 miles should be, oh my goodness, I have the number here. It was 1,200, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, like what's going on is we had a bunch of energy in the rocket, but the energy was stored in the form of fuel, right? It was chemical energy. It was stored in the hydrogen. It's stored in the SRBs, the chemicals that make up the SRBs. And what we did is we released all of that energy, we turned that chemical, the potential energy that was stored in the rocket's fuel, we turned it into kinetic energy, right? And we accelerated that rocket, we accelerated all the pieces of it, then we started dropping pieces. The SRBs were out of fuel, so we got rid of them. Don't carry them anymore. The core stage burned and converted all that chemical energy into kinetic energy, pushing the rocket faster and faster. And then when it was done, it dropped away. And we ended up with the top part of the rocket that has the crew in it. But we took all of that fuel energy and turned it into motion energy, right? Potential versus kinetic. And now what's happening? It's converting back a little bit. The higher it goes, it's taking that kinetic energy we dumped into that vehicle and it's turning back into potential energy. Here, not in the form of chemicals, right? But in the form of altitude, in the form of sort of gravitationally stored energy. The rocket's not gaining or losing energy right now. It's just trading height for speed. And the higher it goes in that elliptical orbit, the more energy is traded into altitude instead of speed. And Alex, like you were saying, if nothing happened, if they didn't do anything, when it got to the top, it would reach the highest point in its trajectory and it would start to come back down to the Earth again, right? Towards the Earth.
Yep.
And there, the equation would flip. It would start trading that potential energy that it's stored in the form of altitude, height above the planet. It would convert that back into kinetic energy, the energy of speed, right? But while it's in space, unless you turn on an engine or dip into the atmosphere, the orbit has a fixed amount of energy, and it's just constantly trading the energy back and forth between speed and altitude. It's going to be doing that the entire time as it goes around the moon. The only time it changes is when they turn on engines of some sort, and they take more of that stored energy, the chemical energy, and they put it into the rocket as motion. So that's what we're talking about right there.
That may be in chat and they know everything, right? They know all of this. Look at the historic mission, right? Like, we're explaining this because you may see the numbers and you may not know. And so now you know that it's completely normal for that to happen.
Good deal. I think now we have got some of the photos from the crew that we can show. We'll leave the animation to you tonight.
Well, look, we've got a couple on there.
Let's see here. Do we have information in order whose shot each thing is?
I see that bottom one on the right is coming in from Wade.
Oh, yeah.
This one's Julia's. Great image from Titusville.
Yeah, with a crowd in the front there. Thank you. People step into the road, it looked like. Is that what I was seeing there?
There's Sawyer's one that's come in. And of many tricks. He's able to commentate, run over, take a picture, come back to commentate. Sorry, you're amazing.
Thank you. Here's another one.
Wow. This is another of his. Yeah.
That's a cool one.
The amount of detail, because you said it, Alex, that you didn't, or was you or Ryan who said you didn't understand the daylight height until you saw it. This was the daylight height.
I believe this is Jerry's picture we're seeing right now.
Yeah. Sawyer, I have a question for you. I don't know if you can answer this. Maybe you were...
By the way, this one...
This is the shot. This is the shot.
It's Max Evans cooked.
Yes,
of course.
I just say to Max, I was like, I want a signed copy of this one. I don't just want a copy, I want it signed because, oh my goodness, what an amazing shot. And then Gage put this one as well, of all the crowds watching. I think it's great.
Gage in a Gage picture?
Frame?
Yeah.
How did you do that? Gage is in the picture watching. There's like an NSF flag on one side and then Gage on the other side and then the plume of the rocket in the background. What witchcraft
one
is
I'm
this?
recording right now. Sorry, Kevin. I'm sending you more stuff even.
More and more coming in. I love it.
Oh, we've got some more of these here.
Enter the updated PRM numbers when you're ready to copy.
Ooh, that's important.
All right, Houston, we are ready to copy.
TIG is 2 seconds earlier at 4 minutes, 4.8 seconds. TIGO unchanged at 2.6 seconds.
3948, TIGO 20.
I've jotting these down.
I am.
Like, are they making notes? You're
Alex
going
is.
down. Abort the spacecraft.
Either Fisher Space Pens or on the tablets, which they have their iPhones with them. This is the first NASA mission that wasn't on Crew Dragon that has iPhones.
Yep. Keep them in airplane mode? Or space plane mode?
Space
or
mode. Well,
whatever. Space mode?
Sorry, space or cell phones. They didn't say what brand, even though a certain someone slipped and said that it absolutely was Apple iPhones.
Oh, jeez.
Can I just point something out with this particular photo, which is now available as a print at shop.nasaspaceflight.com? This is from Max. This is incredible. Max has done many of these flag shots before with a Falcon 9 rising in the background. The difference with this, except from the fact that it's SLS and it's like 39,000 kilonewtons of thrust and, you know, stupendous numbers, you can see the plume through the flag in daylight. That is how bright the exhaust of this rocket is. You can see it through a flag in daylight. And the sun is shining on that flag, you can see. That's just incredible.
I gotta get to that. I gotta bring that up in the shop site.
Interior Houston, updated PRM numbers when you're ready to copy.
At sunset, and again, because the sun is setting in the west here, and we're looking.
All right, Houston, we are ready to
on the
copy.
rocket. That also.
TIG is 2 seconds earlier at 4 minutes for 8 seconds. TIGO unchanged at 26 seconds.
Space notes.
49,
While they're doing that, you
48.
just mentioned they've gone beyond
Tigo
that
26.
1,000 mile mark. Isn't that further than anyone's gone since Apollo 6?
I think.
All right, that one is not urgent. 2 minutes to maneuver to PRM attitude.
Photos here. I will just say that that is correct. We are now beyond 1,800 kilometers, which means a few minutes ago we crossed the threshold set by Polaris Dawn. Artemis II has officially set the record for the furthest a toilet has ever been from planet Earth.
Yay! But yeah,
A proper
this is
toilet.
Yeah, not bags.
Not
This
bags.
is a 30-second street shot, by the way. Sometimes we call these lightsabers, but it's probably a little too wide to be considered one of those. But you, of course, get the street. But the SRBs, boy, are they dirty, and you see it with that kind of plume coming off the side there.
Is that the motion of the... Because I see that the streak is sort of on one side, right?
Yep.
Is that because the plume is drifting in the wind, or is that because of the pitch maneuver?
Interior Houston, for Optimus on the PCD, we have time update instruction. Optimus on the PCD, we have time update instructions when you're ready.
Yeah, it's the cool separation on this one. You don't get to see that often.
No kidding. That's a cool idea. Who would have thought to do a streak shot of an SRB during the day?
Houston, MCC polls go for PRM pending.
And Houston, Integrity, we copy. Hands are pretty busy at this time. I think we will call you back when we're ready for that.
All right, that one is not urgent. 2 minutes to maneuver to PRM
I
attitude.
heard an attitude change, which means the spacecraft
We
will
are watching
basically
and
turn around,
concur.
right?
The
90
visualization
seconds, maybe.
person. Anyways, yeah, so they are now rotating to the correct attitude for the perigee race maneuver. So basically, right now, their lowest point in their orbit is just 27 kilometers. And if you do a little math, that's inside the atmosphere, right? So they're going to be doing a very short burn, just 2 minutes and 6 seconds long, of that RL-10 engine on the ICPS on that upper stage, in order to be able to bring that up to about 185 kilometers in altitude. So it'll be very subtle, very short burn to bring back up that lowest point in the orbit. And it's totally on purpose. Like it's not that something malfunction or anything. That is done on purpose, because before any of this, there was a huge core stage, that orange thing that was behind that upper stage and the Orion spacecraft. And that one, if they did not do this, will just be basically just space junk in orbit, right? So you need to put that in a certain orbit such that the lowest point is within the atmosphere and be able to dispose of that core stage in a very clean way. Basically not putting it in orbit, unlike the Chinese. Anyways.
Nice.
Yeah, Long March 5V, we know. Oh, and that's right. Yeah, the solar wings, the solar array wings will also tilt. They might have actually already tilted.
I believe they are tilted. It's so difficult to see from this animation.
Yeah.
I believe
I'm
they
trying
are
to-
pointing forwards.
Yeah. They are in motion now, apparently. That's what I'm hearing from their updates. And so that's very important because they do that so that during the burn there's loads, right? There's a force going through the spacecraft, and also the inertia of the wings themselves and everything of those solar array wings, and so it's very important to keep them in a certain position. Also, the expansion of the plume of the RL-10, it's in near perfect vacuum, basically, up there in space. And so that
Sort of goes in all
expands.
directions, right?
Exactly.
Even though you have a nozzle to push most of it backwards away from the rocket, it wants to go in all directions, so you sort of minimize the impact, right?
Yep, that is correct. So they're tilted forward. Should be about 7 minutes to go for that perigee raise maneuver.
Looking at Johnson here, aren't we?
Yep.
Squinting
Mission
down,
Control
but that
Houston.
wall of patches, yeah. Go ahead.
Control, booster. Looking at all the different, they have their own sort of little panels there, indicating, or plaques, I guess, indicating which position is which.
But flyover camera with a screen behind them? Is that a screen or is that actually in the open over there?
Yeah,
No.
that's literally out there.
Yeah.
Okay, it looked like a
It's-
screen for a second, but
I think it looks
NASA?
like a screen because they're in a tent and it makes everything
Yeah.
else dark.
We have another person here from NSF under a tent out there in the field, an actual person.
Who? I don't know who you're talking about here. I want to meet
Right,
them.
Sawyer?
I want to meet them. Maybe they have some astronauts
Yeah.
or something.
I
Sawyer,
see
they have a
to
cooler
your
tent than you do.
Yeah.
It looks more expensive than ours.
Yeah, there we go. That's better. Let's
I don't like any of that stuff.
Focus
Push it
on
over
the
there.
camera. Focus on. But this was to hear these grown adults, act like little kids and see the giddiness in them is, I mean, it's so cool. That shared moment with everyone of, yeah, we just did that.
This is the primary audio. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service.
It's too exciting.
This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live
Looks like there's
service.
some people in the
The
background
primary
talking
audio
about how
circuit
amazing
for the
it was.
Reuters live
That
service.
was Dr. Cyan Proctor who we had earlier.
Oh, nice. Okay. They're hanging out next to
This
you
is
over
the
there.
primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service.
And stars in position for PRM.
Live service. This is the primary audio.
More good call outs here.
This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service.
Hours plus
The primary audio
minutes or
circuit
more
for the Reuters
here.
live
There's still a lot
service.
going on in the mission. We still have more shots. At some point, we're going to have some replays for you
This
as
is the
well.
primary audio
But we're hanging
circuit for
out.
the
Like,
Reuters
this is not
live
the end
service.
of the show right now. So, all the folks who have been here with us, we will
This is the primary audio
listen into
circuit
the
for the
updates, but
Reuters
also,
live service.
if you've been supporting what we've done, apparently a lot of people like
This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live
whenever
service.
we allowed them to be bought by the public. The members bought about half the pins we had
This
produced.
is the
We
primary
had
audio
and the
circuit for the
members made
Reuters
half of them
live
disappear
service.
before the public could even touch them. And as soon as we let the public get them, in a matter
This is
of
the
minutes,
primary audio
they were
circuit for
gone.
the Reuters
The original
live service.
set that we had ordered, that we had produced, were gone. So we made the decision. There's so many
This
people
is
who
the
want to
primary
commemorate
audio
this. There's
circuit
so many
for the
people
Reuters
interested in
live
pins.
service.
We made the decision to open the orders back up, even though we
This
had
is
sold
the
out of
primary
stock.
audio
We put it
circuit
on
for
screen
the
and said it
Reuters
was a
live
pre-order for the
service.
people who ordered once we were out of the initial stock. But we're going to go back to the
For
pin
the
company.
Reuters
We're going to get
live
more
service.
pins made because we didn't want to tell people, hey, sorry, you weren't fast enough. You didn't
This
get
is
the
the
commemorative
primary audio circuit for the
SLS,
Reuters live
Artemis
service.
II, etc.,
Primary audio circuit
Now,
for the Reuters
we
live
still have
service.
plenty of patches. We're used to people liking the patches and buying lots of these starships.
This is the primary
So
audio
if
circuit
you
for
want
the
to get
Reuters
a
live service.
Artemis and Artemis II patch, those are still available. They're still in stock.
This is the primary audio
but they
circuit
are
for the Reuters live
disappearing.
service.
I just want to say that real quick. If you went over to the shop, you did see the first pins that
This
were
is the
ordered.
primary
You
audio
ordered
circuit
said
for
that
the
they
Reuters
were
live
not pre-order.
service.
We do have those first pins in stock, and we'll get those out to you as soon as we can. But we didn't want to turn
This is the
away
primary
some
audio circuit
of
for
the
the
people.
Reuters live
So we
service.
swapped it back over. We're going to get back in touch with the company. We're going to get some more pins expedited. So everybody who
This is
wanted
the
a
primary
pin
audio
pin.
circuit for the Reuters
And for
live
the
service.
patches are selling out, but we still have patches in stock because this thing
This
wins.
is
The
the
product actually launched, and I imagine some folks will want to.
This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service.
Now, if patches and pins aren't your thing, or maybe they are, all
This is
for a
the
lot of
primary
these videos
audio
we've been showing
circuit
you,
for the
like
Reuters
flag
live
shots,
service.
lift-off shots. We are working as fast as we can to put those into the shop.
This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service.
Lift-off shot there as well, but that is another fantastic way to support what
This is the primary audio
on
circuit
those.
for the
The
Reuters
photographer that's
live
in the shot
service.
actually gets part of that. You help them get basically funding for cameras
This is
to
the
those
primary
videos
audio
that can
circuit
extend
for
their capabilities. So if you want to pick up one of those
This is the
prints, we're still putting more and more prints in the shop. Some of them are up there already, and of course those are created on demand. Those are going to be in stock. You can get them whenever you want. Of course, we have all the other stuff, the t-shirts, the patches, the mugs and stuff like that you can grab as well. But the sun shirts. Did anyone even see the SLS sun shirt that's like the Sophie orange in the middle and then the arms are SRPs? I don't think that anybody really pointed out that that's what that sun shirt was. So, in any event, we do appreciate y'all. I don't want to say it too much, but that is why we're able to bring you this coverage. It's why we're able to do what we do, because y'all keep showing up and you like having cool stuff to put on your walls. You want like a assembly, like how to put together SLS. Well, now we're going to have to make one of these that's like how SLS disassembles itself while it launches. Like the parts come off of it as it sends the astronauts on their way around the moon. What's up, Alex? We're missing
Razor has occurred, I believe, is what Alex was trying to say.
Correct.
Run seems to have been completed. That's what we like to hear.
Right. Jack, can y'all hear Alex right now? I think what's going on is like everybody has glommed onto the internet and is doing a bunch of uploading. So if y'all can hear Alex, let us know if you didn't hear Alex and you heard Sawyer
Well,
repeat what Alex
you
had
can
said.
relay.
Do we have Alex back now?
The raise maneuver is done.
Okay, now, starting now, did y'all hear Alex? Now people are saying, now it's back and forth because there's like some cross in people's delay. But I think we've got some people saying Alex is back.
Milan, no, we will not
I'm
let you
back,
go.
man.
Let him go.
Okay. Alex, you're allowed to talk again.
Yeah, perigee raise maneuver is done.
That's what all the hoopla was
All
about.
of that just for that. All of that for
We
that.
needed Alex
One
to say
second,
that.
I'm listening. I'm still listening into updates.
Oh.
Yeah, sometimes I stop because I'm still listening to updates, so I'm sorry. But yeah, perigee raise maneuver complete.
Of course, that's not the only burn that they're going to be doing. The next burn is the apogee raise maneuver, the other side of the orbit, and that will be happening in just under 1 hour's time. And that will push Orion and the ICPS into the super elliptical orbit. That's not a real term, but I just made that up. But that'll be a 70,000 by 0 kilometer orbit, which is incredibly elliptical. And after that, they will separate from the ICPS and do their proximity operations.
We're saying what that is, but what does that actually mean? I mean, raising the perigee is an important thing here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so to try and explain it in the simplest terms possible, an orbit is essentially a loop around a planetary body, or a loop around a thing. So the orbit around the Earth is their loop around Earth. And, you know, the orbits, no matter how hard you try, they're very rarely perfectly circular. They're going to be an elliptical shape. And you're going to have a part that's closer to Earth and a part that's further away from Earth. The side of the orbit, the point of the orbit which is closest to Earth, that's called the periapsis. For Earth, it's perigee. For the Moon, it's perilune. And for the Sun, it's perihelion. There are many different suffixes you can add to that word, but the lowest point is the periapsis. The highest point is the apoapsis. And when we talk about the Earth, we say perigee and apogee because G is the Moon. Someone in language decided hundreds of years ago. So that's what we're referring to, the lowest part of the orbit and the highest part of the orbit. Before the perigee raise maneuver, the lowest part of the orbit was within the atmosphere, which meant that if they didn't do that, Orion would re-enter this orbit. But now they've raised the perigee so that the Orion spacecraft will not re-enter on this orbit. When they raise the apogee, that will send the highest part of the orbit even further into space than it is already. Right now, it's over 2,200 kilometers. They're going to raise that to 70,000 kilometers. So that is, 35 times further away from the planet than they were before, at their highest point. Looks like we're getting a live view from inside the Mission Control Center in Johnson in Houston, because of course, at the point of liftoff, control is handed over from the Launch Control Center in Kennedy to Mission Control in Houston, as has been done many times throughout the shuttle and Apollo era. I always love it when they go through the launch and it's like, Houston now controlling. Sounds so cool.
I like all the little numbers and everything on those screens, because there's things, for example, clip start. That is when the next.
When the next. Don't leave us hanging.
Sorry, more updates.
You can listen. I don't know if anybody else, but I was following on with the NASA real-time mission website, and it seems like it's crashed. Like, I'm not getting.
We changed over to point to one of the tracking and data relay satellites at the expected time.
That's the handover we talked about earlier. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at all of the little numbers and everything, and like, for example, there's a countdown there to the apogee race burn, the mission elapsed time, and also the map. You can see that the perigee race burn that we were talking about earlier, that one happened over the Indian Ocean, east of Madagascar. It's a place that if you follow in Starship might be very familiar to you.
we'll just say, instead of the animation, I do wish NASA could also just show us the map. That would be nice.
Yes, please.
But, you know, we'll
Like a
make do
separate
with having to...
view of that.
Yes, exactly. I guess for now we'll make do with squinting at the mission control camera, but it would be nice to see the map. You know, alongside the animation, so we can have both.
It's like we're getting our live telemetry updates by squinting down to 2010 and reading the mission control screens.
Yeah, exactly. Got some wonderful patches on the wall though, if you look in the top left.
Yeah, the mission logos, the mission designs, emblems, whatever. They're patches, but they're big like printouts on the wall.
Yeah.
Guys, you want some insight here from the field team? I got someone with me.
Sure.
Yes.
I mean, go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
Hi, Dots. Hello, everybody. Happy post-launch. Happy Artemis II launch.
It's
oh my
maxed.
goodness.
How you
Hello,
doing, dude?
Dots. Oh, dude. I'm still pinching myself. Like, you could not ask for better conditions to launch a rocket in from Florida.
Yeah.
Like, that was a treat beyond anything. Like, dude, opening of the window, first attempt, and they're off to the moon. Well, not yet.
Yeah, well.
Not yet.
They're in the orbit that, if all goes well, will eventually let them go to the moon.
Correct.
Or about to
Yes,
be. Yeah.
they're about to be.
That was.
I don't know. This is like you've sort of left your driveway, but you're still in your neighborhood, and you're not on the freeway yet, right? You're not like going to Dallas or whatever. You're still in your neighborhood, but dude, you'll be on the freeway to Dallas.
I swear to God, Das.
They're still
My
circling
God.
the block right now.
Oh my God.
It's a good analogy.
It is a good analogy. Yes.
Yeah.
And they'll be there until about T plus, what is it, 1 day and...
About a day and a half.
A day and a half? Okay.
Ish, yeah. I know someone has the actual timeline up. We're kind of still just
Yeah.
recovering.
Dude. Yeah, and I had to go pick up cameras at the pad.
Oh my God.
At 8:30.
No kidding.
Some of them, right?
Some of them, yeah. We're picking up outside the gates first, and then we're going inside the pad tomorrow.
Oh, you hear that?
So-
You hear the pictures that are going to be coming?
So, do you have to handle your camera with gloves because of the SRBs, or is that just an Atlas thing?
Well, it's an Atlas thing a lot because of just the proximity your cameras are in
Close.
towards the flame trench. I don't think that's going to be an issue at 39B. I think we're going to be far enough away.
Probably just far enough away that you don't get the spicy residue that makes your fingers tingle when you pick up the cameras.
Fingles.
Yes, your fingers finger. Exactly.
It's a thing.
It's true, though. For those who don't know, the SRBs, especially the GEM 63s and 63 XLs, which they use over at Vulcan and Atlas, they are very, again, they will make your fingers tingle if you touch them because they're so caustic. But, you have to rinse your tripods afterwards, or else it will continue to linger.
Correct.
So hopefully we don't have that here. Again, I never got to set remotes during shuttle, so I couldn't answer on that one. But
I think it was dependent on like wind direction and how close your cameras were to the pad, but they weren't that close to be in danger, I don't think. But I could be wrong. We'll find out tomorrow.
Exactly. Speaking of direction,
One way to find
lighting
out.
direction, Max, was, we were just talking about that right before. We're like, hey, let's go pop on. That lighting was beyond perfect.
That reminded me of Starship Flight 6, which was the first afternoon window, and New Glenn Flight 2.
Yes. Although this was even better, I think, than New Glenn 2. The sun was a little bit lower, which just...
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And no atmospheric distortion whatsoever. It was wonderful.
Yeah, yesterday I was taking photos beforehand, and I'm like, oh god, the heat haze is terrible on this. And then today I'm looking at the photos like, oh my gosh, you can read the logos on it.
I saw some of these slow-mo footage from the rig, and I don't know if we've shown it yet or not. I've been so busy trying to get photos done.
We're working on it.
Yeah, it's friggin' I'm trying not to use a bad word there. It's friggin' spectacular.
We try and stay family friendly here, but my gosh, it is hard when you get something that exciting happening. And I mean, I've seen hundreds of launches at least. Here?
I'm over 300 now.
Yeah. How does I want to know how that compares.
On the spot, like right after it happened, golly.
That's the perfect time to ask. I'm sure you'll reflect later on, but while it's still fresh.
Top 10 for sure. although it almost went too perfect in the fact that, like, oh my god, it went at the opening of the window on the first try. It's like, that's not supposed to happen.
No, within 10 minutes of the 10 or 15 minutes of the window, try one. All the naysayers, all the Ryan Webbers out there who were saying it wouldn't go on the first try.
Hey, folks, there's a little bit of breaking information here that we need to pass along. We were doing a little bit of a handover there, but Alex, can you fill us in on the comms hiccup that's happening right now?
Yeah, they're getting some downlink from, they're getting data obviously from the spacecraft, but they're having a comms issue, a communications issue with the crew, where they cannot get downlink communications. They are sort of communicating with the crew in the blind, as they call it. They think it is a ground issue with the hardware. They did that handover, right, that we were talking about earlier, to the other satellite. And so, yeah, they sort of were not able to log in with that comms network. But yeah, they're restarting the hardware, probably the usual. See, they have video. Look at that.
Oh,
see?
Look at that.
So data, they have video, of course. But yeah, it's just communication side of things, like, you know, talky talk, basically. They think that the crew can hear them, right? When they sort of give them different call outs and things like that. They usually say in the blind.
Yep.
But yeah.
So when you say in the blind, that means that like the ground is sending messages to the spacecraft, but they're just not getting the response back from the spacecraft. They're getting other telemetry, they're just not getting the voice sounds, right? Where do we go, Alex?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, they have now communications.
Right, we are still trying to understand whether the automated swap to S-band string 2 recovered comm for us, or what was going on the ground. We gave you calls about an ARB TIG and an oxone inlet filter. Did you copy that?
Copy all.
There we go. Yeah, they had two different call-outs to the crew in the blind, as they call them, sort of expecting them to receive them, but not getting an okay from the crew back, right? Because they had that comms issue, but they thought, again, that the crew will be hearing the ground, but the ground will not be able to hear the crew. So they send those call-outs to them, and the crew reports that, yes, they heard those, and they copy. And so, yeah, a little hiccup, but hey, it happens.
Gotcha. All right. So sounds like that was solved. It sounded like they literally turned it off and turned it on again, and it came back. But I believe we have yet another member of our team. Somebody you haven't heard from yet on the show today. Chris Bergen. Do we have Chris on comms right now?
I am. So that happened, didn't it? I told you
So
that
that
Alex. I was telling our team that they're all going,
Yeah,
"Yes, you know, I don't think it's going to launch first time." I'm going, everybody, just calm down a second and listen to my experience with Space Shuttle. Never a scrub. Always launches without issue. Fine. Just trust the process. It'll launch first time. And they'll go, "Chris, I'm not too sure." I'll go, "You'll see." And I was right.
Right,
No,
Chris, right.
You know what? I'll be honest, chat. No, I've got to be honest with chat. Chat, I was saying there is no chance this is launching first time, because the crew launch is a very important launch. Anything even slightly wrong, they're not going to take any chances, as they didn't. The fact that it all went so smoothly is absolutely baffling. Everything went really well. Even the issues in the countdown were minor. There was no sign of any tankage leakage. The LH2 behaved itself, the seals behaved itself, and the TSMUs. And that's without a wet dress rehearsal. We're all saying, well, not all, but some of us, including myself, were saying once they rolled back out from the VAB for the launch attempt, I would have expected at least an integrity test, just to test the seals after a rollout 3 miles down a crawlaway. And they didn't do it, didn't feel the need to do it. That's why they work for NASA. They know what they're doing. And look what's happened. We've had this amazing launch. It doesn't feel real to me still. It's weird. I've been doing all these clips on X and whatever. It doesn't feel real yet. Yeah, it's surreal. I'm not going to be the most articulate person in the world right now, but that was brilliant.
Did you expect that to be a thing. I mean, the count seems smooth. There were a couple little issues, but they worked right through the issues, and they just went. Was that super surprising to you?
Very. I've how many have I watched? I've lost track. I can't tell you exactly how many shuttle launches I've watched, but I mean, if I'm going back to just watching as a fan, you know, literally, I've watched tens and tens and tens of shuttle launches. I've seen many scrubs. STS-93, everyone goes on about the Yank Schubert concur. STS-93 had a scrub where they aborted it at T-7 seconds. You know, there's things like that. That happened quite a lot with the space shuttle program. There's many missions where they took 5 attempts to launch, and this is a vehicle they've got a lot of experience with. So again, the second flight of a brand new vehicle with that hardware, that does not equate to me as a first-time launch. It could not compute in my head. This will be launching first time. So all praise to the teams. They've found an issue during the wet dress rehearsal. They've fixed it. They're taking it back out, and the 101 other things that could have gone wrong didn't go wrong.